Welcome back. So I have been mentioning Flexbox many times and it's finally time to start using it for the very first time. Before I explain exactly what Flexbox is and how it works, I want to first use it as a little in practice and learn its basic concepts. So for this lesson, we need some files from the starter files of the section. So go to the main folder which I have given. In that, go to the starter files, that CSS layouts, and copy CSS grid and flexbox.html, and then paste it in your work area and save it. Okay, now you can see the flexbox.html here. Open this. Make sure the files are inside the correct project folder, otherwise the links and the examples I show you may not work properly. Now when we look at the VS Code sidebar, we can see the flexbox.html. This is the starter file that will help us to learn the basics of Flexbox in isolation. In the index.html, we already have this Flexbox and CSS grid, and let's connect them. Flexbox.html. In here, we will give CSS grid.html. So when I save this, if I go here, so when we click on the Flexbox, it comes to the flexbox.html, and each element has and inside this file we have a container element containing 8 child elements. Each element has a different background color. Now let's select the container element and start using Flexbox. The first thing we need to do is to set the container as display to flex. So if I save this, and that's it, the element with display flex becomes a flex container and its direct child elements become the flex items. In our example, the container, it becomes the flex container and the 8 child elements becomes the flex items. As soon as we apply display flex, all the items automatically appear side by side horizontally. We don't need float or any other complicated techniques. Horizontally, each flex item takes only the amount of space it needs for its content. The empty gray area after the final item is simply the remaining empty space of the flex container. Vertically, Flexbox behaves differently. By default, all the flex items stretch to the highest of the tallest item. For example, here the green has the height of 150 pixels. So if I give 250, all the items stretch according to the tallest element. This happens because the default value of align items is stretch. And one of the most useful features of the Flexbox is vertical alignment. Suppose we want all the items to be vertically centered, and for that I'm keeping back the 150, and for that I'm giving the align items to center, and immediately all the flex items are vertically centered. The container still has the height of the tallest item, but the other items only take the height required by the content. And we can put them in the starting also by keeping flex start, and they move to the top, and we can also give flex end to bring them to the bottom. And the default one is stretch. All the item stretches to the maximum height of the tallest element. Without Flexbox, vertically centering multiple elements could require manual adding margins and guessing the correct values. With Flexbox, it happens automatically. And we can also center the items horizontally by using the property justify content to center. As you can see, all the items are to the center, and I'm just keeping the align items to center too. Now it's more clear. The remaining spaces on the left and the right side are equal. Another useful for justify content is This distributes the remaining space evenly between all the flex items by keeping the justify content to space between. As the name says, space between, this distributes the remaining space evenly between all the flex items. So this is just a quick introduction to Flexbox. We are already seen some very powerful features, and Flexbox has many more properties and options, and we will explore them much more detail in the next lessons.